Sorry, guys, I'll be with you in a second. Bear with me.
Yeah! Yeah! Thank you, guys. My time. Time.
Joffrey crying. I think I'm crying.
Going on, everybody? Welcome to Formula 7 Racing, the pre-season testing. Oh, Bjorn, that's the wrong account. Oh, that's the one he told me to invite. The lobby is actually open to friends, so you should be able to just join regardless. Bring some up. Let me get some stuff up, so I need to get that away. What's that? Just take this away. Don't need that. Oh, reaction time. Is that what that is? 1 second. Have I got reaction time? No. Oh yeah, reaction time. Ah. There we go. Okie dokie. So, let's jump into it. So, we've got a couple of drivers out on track. I think a McLaren is currently on a lap. So, Jabba in the papaya. It is short quali beyond. We've only got 15 drivers, so there's no point in Q1. So, we are on board with the McLaren of Jabba. And we're going to watch and see what he can do. We've already got one kidney Jim in the Ferrari, also on a lap. So we will keep our eyes peeled on him as well. So the Scuderia just coming up towards turn 4. 1 second, I need to track back up. So on board with one Kinney Jim as he comes around turn 10 and then down the DRS straight. You've got that McLaren not far behind him. So one Kinney Jim down in towards turn 11 as that rear wing just closes. That Sauber just tailing him through there. So I think another driver is in. I don't know who that is, but that was a little shaky there from the Ferrari. He's invalidated it. So the Scuderia has invalidated it. What about Jabba? He's keeping it valid at the moment. The purple sector 2, of course. Yellow flag's waving. There's a few slow drivers, and that is the McLaren into the slipstream of the Ferrari. Maybe got a bit of a tow there. Remember, this is Tier 3 and Tier 4 combined here this evening. And the fastest lap goes to DMB Super Skills in the Sauber, a 1:29.5. But here comes the McLaren of Jabba to take it off him, a 1:29.2 for the McLaren, who goes fastest. And then you've got Podge in the Racing Bull, a 1:29.9. And then Umbra Ghost in the other McLaren has come through to take the lead, a 1:29.1. Julius on his debut in the Red Bull, a 1:32.2. He's definitely going to look at improvements. And look at that beautiful, is that Williams or a McLaren? Williams, wow, that looks amazing. It looked like a McLaren from the front. Nimble Cat in that beautiful Williams livery, who is up to P6. Kevin Gamer is in, so is Shining Swarm now. Absolutely, look at the new billboards. A huge helping hand from Salute. As you can see, all the billboards in the background. Formula 7 Racing, F7R on the billboards, all of our sponsors. And Salute Production. Sorry, I've got a bit of a... I have really bad nasal problems. Priz, the German driver in the Ferrari, just coming around turn 12 at the right-hander. It is short qualifying here in Bahrain. Had we have had the 17 drivers in at the start, I probably would have done full, to be honest. Priz has left. Hopefully he can get back in. I will send a couple of invites. They should have a lot of invites anyway, to be honest. And yeah, I think, yeah, Udi's on and out, so he's definitely in. So, K-Swiss, who will be racing in Tier 4 as well next season. So we've got a lot of debutants. Because we've opened this new tier that is Tier 4, we've got a lot of drivers on their debut race here, which is really good to see. That's just what we wanted to see from this pre-season test. So, K-Swiss comes through a 1:34.8. Kevin Gamer in the Aston Martin with that Mercedes just in front of him. Gets a little bit of that dirty air coming out of turn 13. And then down towards turn 14 and 15. And then it's a short run up to the line. Well, about halfway down, just in front of the pit lane. And the Aramco Aston Martin driver goes P8 and 1:31.2. And then you've got Bulldog in the Mercedes, who's also on a lap. I need to move that actually, because I changed it for when I was doing single player mode. So on board with Bulldog, Umbrago sets the fastest Sector 2 time of anybody. And the Mercedes just braking into turn 10. And then that DRS will kick in. And the Mercedes driver will just full throttle it down towards turn 12. Turn 11 and 12. So 10 minutes of qualifying remaining. And that is Jabba on pole here in Bahrain. So the McLaren into P1, and then a Bulldog still on the lap, just coming down towards turn 14. So Umbra Ghost is going to go again. Bulldog up to P4, Julius in P6, so he improved on his debut. And now he's got in purple Sector 1, so Julius in the Red Bull. Remember, Tier 4 driver next season, just joined the grid, seems like a really nice person as well. That's what we want. We want to encourage enjoyment and fun and positivity throughout Formula 7. So we'll see what he can do as we go down towards turn 11. What is the weather forecast? It is clear all the way. So you can see that little bit of wear on the Red Bull. 10% on the rear left. Around turn 14 and 15, and the Red Bull just foot down now to the line. And Julius goes P4 at 1:29.0, so it is very close at the front at the moment anyway. You got DMB, One Kidney Jim and Podge, who will all be competing against each other next season. Nimblecat as well is there and thereabouts. Dutch Verstappen on his debut in that Racing Bull. Then you've got K-Swiss, Kevin Gamer. I think K-Swiss is on another lap, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do. The track is clear. So pole position at the moment is Jabba on that medium tyre, which is surprising actually that he's on pole position on a medium compound tyre. Priz has retired from the session, not sure what's going on there. Shining Swarm, I think he has raced once before. That's a Ferrari, that's Priz into the billboards at turn 2. So he did bin it into the wall. I sent you an invite on Steam. Oh, I don't know, Salute. Yeah, I'll try and invite you. You added me, but then you're not showing us online, so you're not showing up. Can you change your thing to show yourself online? It's really hard. I've got 240 friends lists, so it's really hard to go through them and try and find certain people that, if you show online, you should show up straight away, which will help out. Let me see. I can't even find you anyway on the non-online friend list. They're not in alphabetical order. Some are and then some aren't. It's weird. So, Shining Swarm coming out of turn 13. I will have to check that, Mad G. So, down in towards turn 14 and 15 we go. And he will just empty that ERS down to the line. And Shining Swarm goes P12. Good luck from him. What about Cinders in the other Alpine? Just coming through turn 6 and 7 now. And I hope you're all enjoying the billboards. Oh, the F7, the Fanatec Sim Racing setups, Rock Solid Rigs, F1 Neon Tracks. Every sponsor that we've ever collaborated with is on the billboards. So NMX James goes fastest, sector 1, but we're on board with MSC F1 Cinders in the Alpine to see what he can do here. Umbra Ghost now goes fastest, sector 1, but Cinders is coming around turn 13. As we head in towards turn 15, you can see him, he's got a lot of battery actually. That means he's not used as much as everybody else throughout the track, but he's not going to be in the 128s or 9s here. Is he going to be in the 31s? He is, a 131.3, so it's P14 for Cinders. What about the Portuguese powerhouse that is Udi? Udi in the Mercedes, coming up towards turn 4 with that DRS open. Umbra Ghost setting the fastest sector 2 time. NMX James in the Williams goes provisional pole. A 1:28.7 for him. What about Umbra Ghost in the McLaren? He is into P4, but he is improving. Here comes the Papaya. Down towards the line we go. Umbra Ghost will go. Provisional pole. A 1:28.4. Absolutely flying. So Umbra Ghost on pole position here in Bahrain for this pre-season testing. NMX James in P2. So what about Nimblecat? He's currently in P9 and he's just coming out the final corner, but he's half a tenth down. He's going to empty the tank. Is he going to find any improvement down the straight? He does. 2.5 tenths. He's up to P8 and in front of One Kidney Jim. Not far behind, and that is Jabber in the other McLaren that has gone fastest by 4 tenths. He is absolutely flying. Ridiculous times. We've seen Jabber win the race by over 20 odd seconds in the final race of the season. And now we're seeing him in the pre-season testing way above everybody else. Has Jabber been saving his pace for the end of the season? I tell you what, he looks very quick indeed. So, Julius Bulldog in the McLaren, in the Mercedes, sorry, is also on another lap. So you can see the tyre delta. And he does run onto the grass a little bit there. He still improved, stayed P6. So DMB Super Skills has retired in P4. 3 minutes to go in this session. Nimblecat has invalidated it. Who is on a lap now? I don't think Bulldog is. Umbra Ghost and Jabber are 1-2. So Jabber out of the final corner, down towards the line. And Jabber will go again for another lap. He's already 4 attempts quicker than everybody else on track. So through turn 4 for the Papaya driver. I don't know why, but my stream keeps pausing. I hope everybody else's is not like that. I just want to make sure the stream still looks good also. That's the main thing, isn't it? Main thing is making sure that the stream quality for all the viewers is still good, and for the drivers. So Jabba is trying to improve even more here. Oh no, he's backed out. What about Julius in the Red Bull? He's not improving. Neither is Bulldog. Nimble Cat is improving. So the Williams driver coming down towards turn 14 and 15. This will be his final run. So Jabba with the fastest lap at the moment. But here comes Nimble Cat, and into the pit lane goes Nimble Cat from P8. So Nimble Cat is into the pit lane. Bulldog is now improving. You've got a McLaren, that is Jabba, and he will go for another run with 50 seconds to go. Kevin Gamer, I think, is on an outlap. He is. And then Dutch Verstappen and Podge. Podge is also on an outlap. You've got Julius in the Red Bull. He will go for a final run. All of the drivers, so I think it's going to be Bulldog that is first of the final runners. 30 seconds to go. He is finally improving. Here comes Bulldog around turn 14 and 15. Down towards the line for the Mercedes driver. Is he going to go anywhere near the top? Bulldog to the line. And he does stay P6. And he doesn't find the improvement that he would have wanted. The Ferrari of One Kidney Jim is 3 tenths up. He's currently in P9. And he puts him all the way up to P4. He improved by over a second. What a lap from One Kidney Jim. And then you have a couple more drivers coming. The Alpines of Shining Swan is up to P11. Dutch Verstappen is 1 tenth up in that Racing Bull. Can he get anywhere inside the top 5? We're about to find out. Dutch Verstappen, down towards the line we go, and he will stay P10. The other Mercedes, that is Udi, who is yet to set a lap time. Here comes Udi, out of the final corner, down to the start-finish line and up to P11 for Udi. The 2 McLarens, the next one is Jabba, who's already on pole position. He's slightly down on his lap time. He doesn't need to improve. NMX James, the Aston Martin of Kevin Gamer, who's in P14, will be next. He is improving on his lap time and very close to K-Swiss, but doesn't beat him. Podge Racing is getting a bit of slipstream. Julius goes up to P2, so the Red Bull of Julius improves to P2. NMX James is also 2 tenths up in that Williams. That would put him around Umbra Ghost time, maybe just behind him. Let's have a look. It is just behind him. One Kidney Jim and Bulldog will be next. One Kidney Jim, I don't think he's on a lap. Bulldog to the line slows down. One Kidney Jim isn't on a lap. So that is it. Pole position will go the way of Jabba. So Jabba takes pole in the pre-season race here in Bahrain. What a lap. So, pole position. Yeah, Jabba does look very quick. He looked very quick in the final race of the season when he cleared the grid by 20 seconds. And he looks very quick here as well. So, Jabba takes pole here in Bahrain. Julius will be on the front row of the grid with him. Umbra Ghost on the second row in P3 and NMX James in P4. On the third row, it's One Kidney Jim alongside Super Skills in P6. On the fourth row, it's Bulldog and Podge that lock out that row in the Mercedes and the V car. On the 5th row, it's Nimblecat in the Williams. Alongside him is Dutch Verstappen in the V-Cab. Then comes Udi, Shining Swarm, K-Swiss, Kevin Gamer, MSCF1 Cinders, Priz, Doug. Complete the 17 drivers. Doug did not set a lap time, and neither did Priz, but they complete your 17 drivers for today's pre-season Grand Prix. I will check if you show online, Salute. Absolutely. I don't know why you still don't show online. It's really weird, that. And it doesn't even look like I've got you on the friends list. You just don't show up at all. It is just Salute, isn't it? It's stupid that you just can't search. No, it doesn't look like I can find you, Salute. No, it literally doesn't show you. Oh, there we go. Oh, where are you? Why is it still not showing you? Yeah, no worries, Maggie. I will have a look in a second. Sorry, my bloody nose is killing me. It's still not showing you. It's so annoying. Right, I just need to do the race start. Riz needs an inviter. Yeah, I don't know why you don't show Salute. That's annoying. I am appearing as friends can join, so you should be able to just join. So here we go. This is it for the pre-season race here in Bahrain for Formula 7 racing. The moment we've all been waiting for. It's the first time that some of these Tier 4 drivers would have been on track. This is it, the pre-season race here in Bahrain for Formula 7 racing. And it is 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. Jabba got a good start. What about Julius? He's already falling behind a little bit. One Kidney Jim is through on Super Skills. Umber Ghost is through. One Kidney Jim in the Ferrari. The Sauber and the Red Bull go wheel to wheel. There's a little bit of a collision. A little bit of damage. I think Nimblecat got tied up in it. There's a driver falling behind. Nimblecat in the Williams trying to slip in between his teammate and the Racing Bull as they go down in towards turn 4. He backs out. Shining Swarm, Dutch Verstappen and Kevin Gamer have a coming together. Then you've got Priz, K-Swiss is at the back, and Priz is back in the game. Cinders is through on Kevin Gamer, but Jabba is leading. Bulldog is through on Umbra Ghost. Umbra Ghost is going to come back at him down the inside. Goes Umbra into P5. Can he hold it, and for how long? Here in Bahrain, up the inside, down in towards turn 10. No DRS on the first lap. Doug is through on Cinders. The Aston Martin and they do collide. Dutch Verstappen is round. He's in the wars. He's Dutch Verstappen. And Cinders is also round in the Alpine and into the F7R. Sim Racing set up billboards. Shining Swarm is through on Nimblecat. The Alpine driver slipping and sliding to get through. Kevin Gamer picks up a 10-second time penalty. Nimblecat just slots in behind the Alpine. Let's jump on board. Who got the best reaction for the start? It was Super Skills. He was 0.10 quicker than Jabba on the reactions for the race start, and that's why he's up to P2. Jabba setting the fastest lap on the opening lap. That is Cinders and Doug going at it. Did any of them get damaged? 29 laps is a long way to go. So just remember that. It's a long way to go. So that is the Alpine and the Aston Martin swinging into the pit lane. Cinders and Kevin Gamer are in. Cinders retires. And the opening race of the season for Cinders does not go as planned. What about Super Skills though? A new front wing for Kevin Gamer. Super Skills chasing down Jabba. That is Shining Swarm through on Podge. He's being very racy today, isn't he? There's Priz on Nimble, the Ferrari and the Williams going wheel to wheel. The Scuderia and the Williams. There was a little bit of touch in there as Priz, the German, does get through. And back up the inside goes Nimblecat, but he's not able to make it stick this time around. But he is going to get that DRS when he comes out of turn 15. So we'll stay on board, see what he can do. Super Skills looking very quick. So is Julius. Nimblecat runs wide, but he's going to get that DRS, but he's low on battery. Into the slipstream goes Nimblecat in that Williams as he chases down Priz in the Ferrari. Is he going to get him down in towards turn 1? We ride on board, but then Priz moves over to the right. Nimble goes the long way round. And they go wheel to wheel. Remember, Nimble on them harder compound tyres. Priz on the softs. He was quicker at the moment, but it's the hard compound starting to come back. Nimblecat is through and up to P10, but the Ferrari of Priz is not going to let this go. Back up the inside goes the Maranello outfit, and the Scuderia is back in front, but for how long? They do touch. It's getting very spicy between the pair of them. Nimble just edges ahead. Back into P10 goes Nimble. Priz is just not letting this go though. Wheel to wheel, side by side goes these two amazing competitors, and Nimble will have the inside line as we go down in towards turn 10 at the start of the DRS zone. Wow, what racing we have here, and Nimblecat does stay in front. He finally pulls it off. Well played, both of them drivers. That was great to watch. Super Skills still chasing down Jabba. Yeah, I know, Cinders. I completely get it. I completely get it. Forrest were beating his first 1-0 when I last checked. So Super Skills having that DRS is able to stick with him. That is Shining Swarm. NMX James and the Williams into the pit lane. So he's on hard compound tyres, so I'm surprised to see him go into the pit lane already. Maybe has damage. 3-0, Jesus. So yeah, maybe has damage. City at 2-0, aren't they? Aston Villa 3-2 away at West Ham. Jesus. That is Nimblecat and K-Swiss. Does K-Swiss have damage there? Just trying to see. Yeah, no, the Ferrari of Priz has damage, and so yeah, K-Swiss has front wing damage as well. So, weather alert. It is clear at the moment, and here comes Shining Swarm on Podge. He is going to make the move up the inside at the end of the DRS straight. Shining Swarm in the Alpine is in front and into P7. He is making moves on the track, but Podge, the two-time Constructors World Champion, is back up the inside. They nearly touch. Very squirrely by Shining Swarm. He's on them soft compounds, 4 laps down. They're probably starting to die off a little bit. Nimblecat and Priz are going at it for round 4 or 5 at this point. Nimblecat just gets his nose ahead. What about Podge Racing? And he loses a little bit of time. That's One Kidney Jim being overtaken by Julius. The Ferrari driver will try the old switcheroo on the Red Bull. He'll go around the outside of turn 2 and 3. And he does edge in front. One Kidney Jim is into the podium places. What about Priz and Nimblecat? Still side by side they go. The Ferrari goes later on the brakes and Priz is back in front of Nimblecat. And One Kidney Jim is holding off Umbra Ghost and Julius at the moment. Incredible racing here in Bahrain. Tier 3 and 4 are absolutely delivering. That is Super Skills that is through on Jabba. Super Skills is taking the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. They are both on soft Super Skills and Jabba, so they're going to have to pit relatively soon. Yudi does not have damage. Not that I can see anyway. So Super Skills is now the race leader. And that was Kevin Gamer into the pit lane and retires here in the pre-season race. And that is it. Yellow flag. I think that's just the Aston Martin going into the pit lane. So no outstanding penalty for Jabba at the moment. But here comes Jabba and Super Skills. Super Skills got the better entrance there and the exit. Just looking at the car information. Look at the tyre wear on that McLaren. And on the Sauber, he's actually looked after his wheels a bit better. One Kidney Jim and Umbra Ghost going at it. And I think One Kidney Jim is going to lose that podium position to Umbra Ghost. Can he hold on? You can see the tyre wear of the drivers. NMX James sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Here comes Julius to get in on the action. He just backs out and that gives Bulldog an opportunity. You've got 2x4s as they go around turn 9 and in towards turn 10. It's the Ferrari of One Kidney Jim that is ahead. And he will stay ahead momentarily, but here comes the McLaren of Umbra Ghost, gets a better exit, will use the DRS, and he will stretch out into the podium places, into P3, goes the Papaya. Julius just fends off that Mercedes behind, and they've got a nice little cushion to Podge, who is having his own little battle with Shining Swarm. Brilliant stuff. So you can see the pit stop window for the medium compound tyres, lap 8 to 9. And they are going at it once again here. That is Priz, that is through. Shining Swarm is into the pit lane, and they're going to go 3 wide. Here comes Nimble, and that is Dutch Verstappen that will go around the outside. And Nimblecat just holds on. I absolutely love that Williams livery. It is beautiful. And now Dutch Verstappen gets a really good exit on Nimblecat. He'll move just ahead. Nimble goes a little bit later on the brakes. Dutch Verstappen covers him off. Once again, they go side by side. Nimble has been involved in pretty much all the battlings thus far in the race. And it is Dutch Verstappen that just edges in front. K-Swiss watching this as a bystander at the moment. So the tyres, that's how it's looking at the moment. And we can see from the pit stop window that it is lap 9 for the soft compounds, pretty much similar to the mediums. Well, that's K-Swiss's pit window. So Bulldog in the Mercedes. That is Jabba and Super Skills into the pits. Umbra Ghost will stay out. So into the pits goes Super Skills and Jabba. Jabba gets the wheels changed. A 2.2 second pit stop. What about the Sauber? 2.2 as well, and he will come out just in front of the McLaren once again. Through goes Prizitic in the Ferrari. And look at these. That is a McLaren coming out of the pit lane just behind Dutch Verstappen and Nimblecat. That is Jabba on the warpath. NMX James is up to P11. One Kinney Jim in P10. And Jabba right inside all of that traffic. Nimble having a little sneak up the inside. Why 2 pit stop timings? I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. So you can see Jabba now starting to close up in that McLaren on the back of the Williams. Is he going to get a better exit? He should do. He's on fresher tyres, and I think Nimblecat will just let the McLaren go through. I'm not sure he will fight it that hard, knowing that he's on fresh tyres, and he doesn't. Very clever from the experienced driver, and Jabba will use the DRS to get the next overtake done. 2 done in very quick succession by Jabba in the McLaren. The DMB Super Skills is 1.8 clear of Jabba. It's amazing, isn't it? They pitted at the same time. They had the exact same pit stop time. Yet DMB Super Skills is going to make a move on Priz, and the Sauber driver through on the Scuderia. But that Ferrari is going to get DRS, but surely he goes into the pit lane this lap, Priz. No, he's going to use the DRS from that Sauber in front, and he's going to stay out on them old soft compounds. And he is going to move back in front of Super Skills. But Jabba came out like a second and a half behind Super Skills, but came out into traffic. That is how important the pit stops are. Nimblecat goes up the inside of Dutch Verstappen. Dutch Verstappen leaves in the roost. Nimblecat is the same, leaves him the space up the inside. And these two well enjoying the racing here under the lights in Bahrain. There's nothing to separate them as they go up towards turn 4. Later on the brakes goes Dutch Verstappen. Super Skills is back through on Priz, and the Sauber, who's already pitted, back into P5 with everybody in front of him yet to go into the pit lane. So Jabba is through now, and the chase is on for Super Skills, but he is 1.8 behind. Maybe he'll start chucking that sand out the bags and start getting a move on again for Jabba. One Kinney Jim is through on Nimblecat. Nimblecat, whose teammate will be Cinders next season, is out of this pre-season testing. And that is Julius, that is now your race leader in the Red Bull. The debutant is the race leader here in Bahrain. He is still yet to pit though. But it's a good place to be for him. Bulldog and Umbra Ghost are into the pits. I don't know why there's 2 timings actually. Yeah, you're right. Is it? Sorry. Is it that one? Is this one? So Umbra Ghost on at Nimblecat, and the McLaren is through also. Nimblecat racing his own race. He's yet to pit. He started on the hard compounds, and he's just going for his own sort of strategy here. It's the best way to be. Udi is into the pit lane. Can Jabba catch up? He is catching up massively. He's already caught up at his second now that the sandbags are off. And he's going to be well within DRS range. No, you're right, Maggie. So this pre-season testing, Bahrain, 19 laps to go. Remember, from the 4th of January, this will be your new time for Tier 4. Every time you want to watch the Tier 4 racing, 3 o'clock will be the new time to watch it. And it is going to be action-packed. It's a great grid. A lot of the drivers you see here today will be in that Tier 4 grid. There is Jabba on Super Skills, and he does get through. And that is for the provisional lead of this Grand Prix. Jabba is in front of DMB Super Skills, who will chase him down. Jabba might even get DRS from Podge. The only thing is, though, the McLaren does have a time penalty that might fall into the hands of Super Skills, or Jabba is going to let the sandbags off again and start to move away with that penalty. So you can see Podge just in front, who is yet to pit. But yeah, a lot of the drivers here today. And Jabba will get that DRS on Podge. He'll get the better exit as well. And that is Priz and Dutch Verstappen. Priz is through on Dutch Verstappen. And that is Jabba. That makes an easy, clean sweep around the outside of that racing bull. I think DMB Super Skills will do the same thing. Up the inside he goes. Podge is the sort of driver that he'll just race his own race and slot in behind. I do think, though, Jabba is very much on the verge of Tier 2, as he showed in the last race of the season, and he's showing again here. I mean, even in qualifying, nearly half a second in front of anybody else. He's definitely a quick driver. Dutch Verstappen on Priz. Jabba setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, just as we were talking about him. He's doing really well. So, Dutch and Priz are going at it for P11. The Ferrari just in front of the Racing Bull. And down towards turn 14, that is Bulldog through on Nimblecat. Nimblecat will just stay in position. What about Dutch Verstappen? He's going to get that DRS. Through turn 14 and 15, the Ferrari makes a slight mistake, and the Racing Bull is going to be all over him like a rash. The Ferrari burning that battery, but how long for? He can't do it for long. Oh no, Priz moves to the left, completely blocks off Dutch Verstappen. And I tell you what, that was a bit on the borderline. That was from the Ferrari driver, who just changed. He's in the braking zone to avoid the overtake from Dutch Verstappen. Now Dutch Verstappen is going to go for it again, but Priz doing a great job that time of defensive racing. Runs a little bit wise. Dutch Verstappen now trying to capitalise, but he's not able to. So DMB Super Skills is staying with Jabba at the moment. It's very hard to shake off a driver when they've got DRS. Wow, Spurs losing 3-0 to Forest. Forest are doing really well, though, to be fair. Well, they're a bit hit and miss sometimes, aren't they? You think, yeah, they've got a really good squad, and then sometimes they'll lose a game that they should win. It's quite frustrating if you're a Forest fan. But they've done really well. Here comes DMB Super Skills on Jabba. So you can see the lap times from the drivers. On lap 12, Podge Racing 1.6 slower than the Sauber. You've got Wonkini Jim and Umbra Ghost going at it side by side. Umbra Ghost was half a second quicker than Wonkini Jim on that last lap, and he's going to make it count. The Ferrari and the McLaren down in towards turn 8. Out of turn 8, the McLaren is in front, and Umbra Ghost makes the move stick. But for how long? That Ferrari is going to get DRS. So down in towards turn 10, turn 9 and 10. That DRS will kick in, but it might be a little too late for that Ferrari. Yeah, I like Sean Dyche. So that is Priz on Dutch Verstappen once again. We are halfway through this pre-season testing. So we can see from Priz. Oh, that was up the inside, goes Dutch Verstappen. But you can see how much quicker the Ferrari was off the line at the start of this race than the Racing Bull was. So the reaction time was a lot better, and there the reaction time had to be quite similar. And that was Priz that went through on Dutch Verstappen, but the Racing Bull will have the DRS. Here he comes. He's not got the DRS. The Racing Bull didn't get it. It was the Ferrari that got it. So Priz will stay ahead into P11. He does have a time penalty. And here comes Nimblecat on Shining Swan. Still yet to pit is Nimblecat. When is he going to go in? He'll probably... Let's have a look when the pit window is. So the pit window for the hard compound tyres. I don't know why it says lap 8 and 9. The DMB Super Skills. Just trying to stay with Jabba. Aston Villa beating West Ham away is a really good result. So Julius is into the pit lane finally to get off them hard compound tyres. So Bulldog will move through. What about NMX James? Is anybody going to go for that two-stopper? 14 laps to go. We've not seen a single yellow flag. It's been an amazing Grand Prix. It makes me look forward to Australia so much, especially for Tier 3 and 4. We've got some new drivers like Julius, Shining Swarm, you've got K-Swiss, Dutch Verstappen up the inside of Priz, and the Racing Bull back in front and into P11. Priz will come back at him though, because he will get the DRS. Into the slipstream he goes. The Ferrari driver will move over to the right hand side. He'll get the inside line in towards turn 4, but the switch back from Dutch Verstappen, can he make it stick? Side by side go the Racing Bull and the Ferrari. The RB backs out, the Ferrari is through and into P11. Yeah, you've got so many new drivers, and I've got to say, if I'm being completely honest, they've performed really well here. None of them have been silly, they've all been really clean and very good racing. So I'm proud that the recruitment's been really good by the league directors and the team, and the drivers coming in know exactly what's expected here at F7. It isn't an open lobby league racing, it is literally, we are here for fun, enjoyment and seriousness, meaning don't be doing anything stupid, let's race like you would like to be raced against. So that is Umbragos that is through on Podge. Podge still yet to pit. That is Bulldog from One Kidney Jim, who is into the pit lane. One Kidney Jim is in. What about Priz again? And Dutch Verstappen. Priz will try and look up the inside. Dutch Verstappen shuts the door. Nimblecat is up to P9. Still yet to pit, remember. We are on lap 16. I'll be surprised if we don't see Nimble in at the end of this lap to go for them mediums until the end of the Grand Prix. And there goes Priz once again and his Ferrari teammate who's on his way out of the pit lane. And One Kidney Jim on fresh tyres will come out in P10 and on fresh hards. So he's looking in a very good position here, One Kidney Jim. And you can see from the driver in front and behind that the Ferrari of Priz was quicker than One Kidney Jim on lap 13 by half a second, 2 tenths on lap 14, and then by 3 seconds on lap 15. That was when One Kidney Jim went into the pit lane. As you can see, he was starting to lose time to his teammates, so he pitted just at the right time. And Dutch Verstappen still on the back of Priz, the Ferrari man. Just going to try and follow his teammate all the way through. Can he stay within that DRS range? Weather alert is completely dry, and it looks like it's going to be that for the remainder of the race. Light cloud at the end. DMB Super Skills and Jabba are back into the pit lane. So the two leaders are going for the two-stopper. Jabba will come out just in front of the Kick Sauber. Julius, who went for the pit stop just a lap ago, is going to come out and he is going to be fighting for the lead. He's going to come out just in front of DMB Super Skills. No, he's not just behind him, but he does the old switcheroo. He's already got heat into them hard compound tyres. Super Skills trying to fend him off as they come out of turn 3 down towards turn 4. And the Red Bull will calm it down a little bit and just stay behind that Sauber. Well played by Super Skills, that was. It really was. Lap 17 of 29. Nimble is doing well, Magic. You're absolutely right. But let's have a look at Nimble in P12. We can't see his tyre information, but if we look at Julius, you can see his car information. DMB Super Skills on the fresh hard, so is Jabba. And then you look at Bulldog in front, 30% wear onto them tyres and only a 5-second gap to Jabba, so he probably will get caught by the end of this race. I hope you're all enjoying the new billboards all around the track. Thank you to Salute as well for helping out. We've got a big intro coming from the man himself for our streams. We've got all the overlays that we've done, and now we've got all the billboards and sponsors around the track all changed to F7R and all of our sponsors as well. And there should be a bit of Salute Productions around there as well. Dutch Verstappen into the pit lane for his second stop. Or was that his first stop? Might have been his first stop, that. No, he's into the pit lane for the second time. What about Doug in the Aston Martin? He's having a great little tussle with Udi here. These two will enjoy this a lot. So the Aston Martin driver chasing down that Mercedes in front around turn 14 and 15. The Mercedes gets a really good exit, but it is the Aston Martin that will chase him down. That DRS will become active. That rear wing will open and he's chasing him down. And the Portuguese driver, is he able to just stay ahead? He is. The Aston Martin driver goes later on the brakes, gives him a little tap to let him know he's there. A little slip and a slide around turn 2. Picks up a warning for track limits out of turn 3 down towards turn 4. That DRS has kicked back in again. The Aston Martin driver will go up the inside of Udi. The Mercedes leaves him the room, but he gets the better exit. Side by side go the drivers through the S's, but it's Udi that holds on. And Udi stays in P14, podges into the pit lane finally to get off them hards and onto them fresh mediums. Super Skills still on the back of Jabba, these two fighting for the provisional lead. So where will Podge come out? And he comes out in P7 on fresh mediums. That is not a bad position to be in for Podge. Sorry. So we've got Podge, but he does have an outstanding penalty of 3 seconds. But he is on the warpath now, and it'll be interesting to see what he can do from this position and see what the pace is like for him. You can see that Wonkini Jim and NMX James were quicker than him on lap, well, no, actually NMX James was slower than him on lap 18. But on the last lap, obviously when Podge pitted, they were both quicker. So down the pitch straight we go. What about super skills on Jabba? The pre-season race has been brilliant, I must say. I've really enjoyed it, and the drivers should be very proud. They've done a tremendous job. DMB Super Skills is doing really well to stay with Jabba. This could be the championship battle next season in Tier 3, to be honest. So it's probably good that they get acquainted with each other with 9 laps to go. So 1 second, guys. Just wanted to check we're still live on the old TikTok. Umbra Ghost is into the pit lane. Bulldog is only 1.2 clear now of Jabba, and he's on them old tyres. So Bulldog is into the lead, but for how long? Julius is through on Umbra Ghost and up to P4. Julius on his debut is doing really well. He's just got the strategy right, Julius. He's got the strategy right. He's shown consistency. He's been really clean and clear in what his decisions have been, and it's shown. Nimblecat in P11. What is going on with him? He is, onto the medium, so he has pitted. So the chase is on for him now, and I'm pretty sure he'll be able to catch up to Swiss, Shiny Swarm, and potentially NMX James. That is a Mercedes. That's Udi that's round. Udi is round. And it's been a pre-season test to forget for Udi at the moment, but he's still in this. And remember, points go down to P15 in F7. That is Bulldog and Jabba, remember, the provisional leader on them fresh tyres, does not want to get tied up behind this Mercedes, but that Mercedes is going to try and hold him up as much as possible, and Jabba needs to make sure he stays way clear of him. The Mercedes, here comes the 2 provisional leaders of Jabba and Super Skills. The McLaren is through, so is the Sauber, but the Sauber is now chasing down the McLaren into the slipstream. They are through, and Bulldog, who is yet to pit, goes into the back of DMB Super Skills, and now Julius is on the charge, and Bulldog gets away unscathed. I don't know how. There goes Podge on One Kidney Jim, the Racing Bull on the Ferrari. And on them fresher tyres, the 2-time Constructors World Champion is through and up to P6. But for how long? Here comes the Ferrari with that DRS enabled. Swiss is into the pit lane. One Kidney Jim in the Ferrari goes up the inside. Podge will try to hold on around the outside, and it's the Swedishman that is able to stay in front. No, exactly, Maggie. If it wasn't a pre-season test, I could see why they would carry on, obviously. This points it to P15. So Jabba, with 7 laps to go, is the race leader. DMB Super Skills. Remember, Jabba does have a time penalty. If DMB Super Skills can stay with him, he will essentially win this race. I'm sorry, I've got a bit of nasal problem, so I do apologise if you're listening to that. Julius is through. Bulldog has pitted with 6 laps to go. Bulldog has pitted, and Julius is into the podium positions on his debut. He does have Umbra Ghost chasing him down, who's very quick. But Julius, with a 5-second gap, might be safe here in that podium position. One driver that's not safe is Jabba. He's got a 3-second time penalty, and it's going to be very hard to shake Super Skills behind him. That is NMX James that comes out just in front of Bulldog in that Mercedes. But Bulldog will have them fresh, soft compound tyres. He will be very quick, probably set the fastest lap before the end of this race. And once he clears NMX James, I'm pretty sure he'll be on for that fastest lap on lap 24. Oh, a little late on the brakes goes Bulldog. You can see the impatience kicking in. If I was Bulldog, I'd probably wait for the pit straight, use the DRS and start off my lap. That's where I would probably sit with it. Oh, definitely, Ben. Yeah, if we can try and sort out the Discord interviews. I did link up my Discord to the F7 account, but it's really hard. Basically, you have to link it up every time. So if you signed in on your end, you'd have to link up your Discord to the PlayStation account and then join a chat or something like that. But then even when I did it last time, we couldn't hear anyone. Unless we did them like I did them in the game chat. If we just did the interviews in the game chat, muted everybody else and did them in game chat. There goes Bulldog, and he did do what was recommended. He used the DRS for his fastest lap attempt on lap 24. He's on them softs, and he will be very quick now at this stage of the race. 5 laps remaining. And that is Udi that is chasing down Doug. He's all over him like a rash. Doug is trying to defend. Udi goes wide. And Doug is just about safe for the moment. But I'm not sure that will last much longer. Here comes Udi. And he hits that DRS line. Very clever from the Portuguese driver. He knew what he was doing. He backed out ever so slightly to keep that DRS. And the Aston Martin will move to the inside line against the wall. He'll burn that battery. And this is great defensive racing by Doug. How he's managed to fend off that Mercedes behind him is quite remarkable. It's really difficult here in Bahrain to keep a driver behind when they're that close in DRS. Udi picking up a time penalty. Outstanding time penalty is 9 seconds for Udi. Just struggling with track limits. But this isn't the track that will be racing in round 1. It is just a pre-season race, and I think that has caught a few drivers out with them not practicing it. So the Ferrari of Priz on the back of Nimblecat coming around turn 13. As you can see, the Fanatec boards above and at the side. Down towards the final corners. The F7R sponsors all around the circuit here in Bahrain. And as we come down the pit straight, you see the F7R sponsors above and at the side. And then into the slipstream goes the Ferrari on Nimblecat. Nimblecat in the Williams is just a sitting duck. And the Scuderia driver is through and up to P10. These two have been going at it like cat and mouse all race. And now Priz is in front. Umbra Ghost has caught up to Julius and overtaken him. He was 5 seconds behind. But the Papaya performing here in Bahrain. That is a great move from Umbra Ghost. What about Nimblecat on Priz? Is he going to try and come back at him? Oh, he cuts the corner, picks up a time penalty. And that means it's 6 seconds for Nimblecat. DMB Super Skills has lost DRS. Is this where Jabba gets the sand bucket out and starts chucking it out of that McLaren? As he knows he needs a 3-second gap to Super Skills. He's not been able to get away from him all race, but now is the time to do it. And now is when the bucket comes out. Jabba. One kidney Jim on the back of Podge. Yeah, potentially Pele. That's not a bad idea, to be honest. Yeah, well, as Bjorn said, I'm literally just doing this pre-season test just because we've got a brand new tier open and we've got a lot of new drivers, and I want to make sure that they're committed and they want to show up and they want to drive and they're clean, and I want to know their pace before we start on January the 4th. And this is give us as a team, it's given us a really good indication of what to expect, and it's been really positive, by the way. Not a single yellow flag all race. But could we do a pre-season 1 and 2? Potentially, yeah. But this has been really positive from Tier 3 and 4. Every driver on the grid should be very proud because they've done an excellent job. The racing has been phenomenal. Wait until I upload these clips, honestly. The drivers been brilliant. So, riding on board with one kidney Jim. He's 1.3 behind Podge. What about NMX James? 9 tenths behind Bulldog. And look at Super Skills now, 2.2 behind Jabba. Jabba literally waited until the end of the race and then threw that sand bucket out. Started cutting the sandbags on the side of that McLaren and thought, yeah, I need 3 seconds to win and that's what I'm going to go and do. And off he went. They're on the exact same strategy as well here, Jabba and Super Skills. Yes, Bjorn. Yeah, I'm glad you watched and got an idea, Maggie. I can't wait till you're on the grid as well, and your dad. So, NMX James on the back of Bulldog. And that is Doug and Udi going at it again. Doug is in front of the Mercedes man. What about NMX James? On to the tail of that Mercedes in front. That is NMX James up the inside of Bulldog. And that is how it's done. James, the Irishman, is in to P7. That is how it's done. Oh, Bulldog goes wide and off the track. 10-second time penalty. Not sure what happened there, but he's lost a lot of time. Shining Swarm on his debut. Priz, who will be racing next season in Tier 4, has got well acquainted with the OG that is Nimblecat, Dutch Verstappen, who's raced here 3 years ago and he's now back. And we'll go into the slipstream of Nimblecat, and the Racing Bull driver with that DRS enabled will move out to the left-hand side. The Racing Bull looking very racy indeed. Gets through on Nimblecat in that Williams. So it is Dutch Verstappen in P11, Nimblecat in P12. You can see Dutch Verstappen has been a bit quicker than the drivers around him on the last 4 laps or so. So Nimblecat. And who is that that's just got a penalty? Who's that, Priz? I think it was. So that's now 6 seconds for Priz. The MB Super Skills has caught back up. Jabba's out. Jabba's not in the race. Jabba needs to get back in. Where is it? And that disconnection has just lost Jabba the race. And DMB Super Skills will move through. The sandbags are back onto that McLaren, and DMB Super Skills is catching up. Hasbraz, I haven't got you on EA. I might have had you on PlayStation, but not EA. Hasbraz. I really don't think I've got you, or Jabba or Hasbraz. So I'll have a look. Ah, there you are, you're back in. They are 7 seconds clear of the rest of the pack, so if you can get back in. Well, this is it, on to the last lap, and DMB Super Skills, by a technicality, he's going to win here in Bahrain if he makes no mistakes. He is now a 1.5 seconds clear of Jabba. Yeah, Jabba was phenomenal as well. Jabba was incredible. He looks very, very quick. Probably in contention for the championship next season if he stays in Tier 3. But he's got a penalty, so that will be it. So DMB Super Skills is going to come through. And the driver that come very close to the championship last season in that Red Bull will come around here in the pre-season testing of tier 3 and 4. He will come through and he's going to let Jabba cross the line first, but DMB Super Skills wins here in Bahrain. Very sportsmanship, a lot of sportsmanship there going on when DMB Super Skills let Jabba go through, but it is Julius that takes P2, Umbra Ghost on the podium in P3, and Jabba with that time penalty and disconnection didn't win the race, but potentially that'll get removed. But very nicely done from Super Skills. That is why everybody thinks so highly of him. But what a race. Shining Swan comes through in P8, Bulldog in P9, Priz, Dutch Verstappen will come through in P10 and P11. And Dutch Verstappen in P10, Nimblecat will come to the line and stay P12, and then K-Swiss, Doug and Udi will complete the grid. What a race that was. I really, really enjoyed watching that. Some amazing battling, by the way, amazing battling. I cannot wait to watch Tier 4 next season. Yeah, in Season 12. Cannot wait for it. There we have it, the pre-season done and dusted. No, I understood, Bulldog. I understood it, mate. There you have it. Doug and Udi will come through. And you can see the sponsors on the board. Sim Racing Setups, F7R, RSR, F1 Neon Tracks, the lot, all there. And Fanatec, of course. Salute Productions on the blue billboards there. So there we have it on the top step. DMB Super Skills. He did slow down to let Jabba get the race victory though, but due to penalties. Yeah, what can he do so man? Some amazing racing that though. I hope that Salute got, I mean he didn't get in the lobby, but he's got to have got so much content from that race. I can potentially save the race, I think, and then send it over. We'll see. Julius, I didn't see you lagging too much. No, it was a great race, mate. So there you have it. DMB Super Skills wins here in Bahrain, the pre-season testing. Julius on his debut, Mexico in P2, Umbra Ghost, the Greek god, in the McLaren in P3, and then Jabba in the McLaren P4. Cross the line in the lead, though. The two-time Constructors World Champion in P5, Wonkini Jim in the Ferrari in P6, the Irishman of James in P7, the Hong Kong driver of Shining Swan, well, from Macau in the Alpine in P8, Bulldog in P9, and Dutch Verstappen in P10. Then comes Priz, Nimble, Swiss, Doug, Udi, Kevin Gamer, and Cinders. Yeah, I've seen that, James. So there you have it. That is it for the pre-season testing. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching, and thank you to the drivers as well for joining. It was a great race. We got a lot of information from it. We got a lot of clips, and we learned a lot from the new drivers. And well done to all of the new drivers, by the way. They really showed up today, and it fills me with positivity. When you open a new tier, you become really nervous about the new drivers, but I'm not nervous at all after watching that. It was really good. No problem, Nimble. Thank you so much. But yeah, thank you all so much. I hope you all enjoy your trophies. They are all now out for delivery. All the ones that are going to Europe are all on their way to me, so they will be coming out shortly. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching. Make sure you are here for the start of Season 12 in 2 weeks on January the 4th, or 3 weeks, I think it might be. I think it's 3 weeks. So January the 4th, we are back for Season 12. Season 11 was our biggest season ever. So I cannot wait to see what happens in Season 12. Thank you all so much. Have a great weekend. Have an absolutely amazing Christmas. Enjoy it with your friends and family. Like I've said before, if you've got nobody to turn to or talk to during the Christmas period, my inbox is always open and you are more than welcome to come and talk to me, or just put exclamation mark mental health in the Discord chat and you can talk to anybody if you are struggling. Thank you guys and take care.